Good morning. Welcome to another morning mug. That was a great but crazy weekend. I can't believe it's Monday morning already. It's such a whirlwind of different things going on. Really, it was one main thing with a lot of driving. So I got this seriously last second offer to go investigate the Goldenrod Showboat. And this is had been, until they had to take it away, had been a historic national landmark, but because of its condition and things that happened last year, I guess while trying to move it, it became so disrepaired, and there's no money to fix it. I mean, we're talking probably like $500,000. It's actually going to be scrapped, so, which is sad, and we'll talk about that in a second. So it was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1967. It was built in 1909. It was the biggest and most luxurious showboat that's ever been out there. And so it's really sad what's happened to it. I got this last second invite to go out there to investigate it. And, my first inclination was, I'd love to, but, and then I kind of looked up the distance to, see how far it was. And it's right at my max. Right at the max that I would drive to go somewhere for an investigation like that over the weekend. And I was like, you know what? Opportunity's never going to happen again because it's going to be gone. So I jumped on it and grabbed stuff, ran out the door. Crazy drive. I don't know if you can see it. I got mud on the windows, and that's a story for another day. But that's kind of how crazy the drive ended up becoming. So, yes, crazy drive. Very good investigation. So the deal with the investigation videos, there's going to be 2 of them. One will be at Paranormal Roads, and I will have that out. My plan is to have that out by this Friday. I did not have a chance to do any of my filming for a new Friday Night Ghost Rides, so I will have to skip one, and I'll do a Paranormal Roads of the Goldenrod Showboat. And so what those are, those that have been following my channel, are basically it's a road trip video, and I show investigation video, of course, and some details. The bigger production with all the history, and of course Paranormal Roads will have some of the history, but the bigger documentary about the history and the origins and all the legends, ghost tales, and all of that stuff will be in a new Ghosts and Legends episode, which shall take a couple weeks, probably at least, to put together. I want to do a good job with this one. And not that I don't think I do a good job with the other ones, but I want to make sure this one is done really well, just because of what's happening to it. So I want to pay it that respect, pay it that honor that I believe it deserves, because I don't believe it deserves the scrap pile. And now I'll get into this. And those that have been following me know that I'm really big into history, for a simplistic way of saying it, but there is a respect and a reverence that I give to the things that have passed, and I guess I do that because I believe that there's so much that we can learn from those things, and by disregarding those and by tossing them aside, we forget. And not only do we forget the history behind it, but we forget the people behind it. And so those people and their lives become lost to time. And that's really sad, to become forgotten like that. And these were people. They had lives. They were things that, while some may not deem them all too important, they were important to somebody. And with this, it's a piece of American history. Biggest, most luxurious showboat that there was. It was, part of an era of American history that we don't do anymore. We kind of set up these mock things to kind of say, oh yeah, this is, harkens back to the day when we had, boats on the Mississippi and blah, blah, blah. Well, this was one that was, it was the real deal. It was going up and down the Mississippi with all the different, vaudeville acts that was on it. Red Skelton got his start on there. Bob Hope has performed on there. It was a big deal. You had, people with, that were, high influential people that would go on this and would check out the acts as it went from city to city. And I spent a lot of time in St. Louis as well. So it was a pretty big fixture there for a while, but this boat was the shit back in the day, and it's this that you should be preserving. And while there's going to be some pieces of it that end up in a museum, this thing should be the museum. It should be the museum. But it's going to get scrapped, and you have something that's actually been a National Historic Landmark. It is not designated that this very moment anymore, because they had to take that designation off in order to scrap it. And it comes down to a money thing. It's all about money. And there's just not the money to do it. And unless by some miracle, by April 1, if somebody with that kind of money steps forward and says, here, I'll save it, it's gone. It'll be gone. So that's why I jumped on this opportunity to investigate it, and I really appreciate that. And I hope that through the videos that I create, it won't, I hope to do it justice a bit, but it won't be enough, because you won't be able to actually walk on it. But hopefully I can give you a little bit of that sense of what it was, and not just me, but the people that I interviewed and were with me that know about the things that happen there, have had experiences, that know the history, that have a real personal tie to this boat. I've talked before in another video about passing things down, about how our job in our generation is to pass things down to the next generation. Well, if we don't, then things are lost. And that's why within human history, humans end up making the same mistakes. They keep doing the same dumb things, and information, lessons learned get lost to time. And so what I've been trying to do, one of the things I've been trying to do with the investigations that I do, and and the videos that I do and the books that I write and all of that is to make sure that I am passing these things down to the next generation, and with books and videos, hopefully having some sort of sustaining life, maybe the generation after that too. Because if I don't do it, I can't necessarily count on other people to do it, and I won't be able to get to it all throughout my life, but I'll try to get to as much as I can. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to pass things down. I mean, that's, one of the things you do as a parent is you pass things down to your children. Well, there are other aspects of this world and of this life that you pass down to the rest of the world. And so, this is what I want to make sure gets passed down. Because when it's gone, that's it. It's end of an era. Literally. So that's what you have to look forward to here in the next couple of weeks. So, Goldenrod Showboat. Look it up. Check it out. There will be other investigations coming up as well. I'll have more information on that stuff later. But, yeah, so that'll take the place of the Friday Night Ghost Frights this week. So, some of you have been expecting, and I've really appreciated the comments on those, but some of you have been expecting the next one and the next one, week after week, which is cool. That was kind of, the goal. So, but yeah, I'll have to skip one. So, I hope you don't mind. And then we'll have more stuff to follow after that. I think that's all I got this morning. So, sit tight. And, yeah, we'll talk more about all of that stuff in the next videos. Oh, and please do have some coffee. I'm going to be drinking a ton this morning because I'm still tired from all that driving. It was crazy. Crazy driving. Till next time.